In this question, we'll find the distance traveled in the first 2 seconds. This is a velocity time graph, and let us mark what happens in the first 2 seconds. At the 0 seconds, the object is here at 0, O, and then at 2 seconds, the object is out here. Which means in first 2 seconds, the graph is this. This is the graph, and you know that the area below the velocity time graph gives us the distance. So this area will give us the distance covered in the first 2 seconds. Now if you look up at this, I'll mark this point as A. This area is a triangle, so the distance covered will be equal to area of triangle OA. I'm going to mark this point as X. And for area of the triangle, you know it is half base into height. So we need to identify what is the base. This will be its base, and this will be the height of the triangle. Now let's get on. So we have half. We saw the base is here. This is base, which is 2, and the height here is, this is the height here. We have this height. This is the H height, which is 4.6. So the area is 4.6. So we'll go further. Here we know it is half base into height, and we have seen that the base was 2 and the height was 4.6. So the distance is 4.6 meter. In the second case, let us find the distance traveled between 2 seconds and 10 seconds. So we will mark the 2 seconds. So at 2 seconds, the object was here, and at 10 seconds, the object is here. So we need to find the distance. And the graph, this is the velocity time graph. So this entire area below the velocity time graph, this entire area will give you the distance. So in this case, the distance, I've already colored the distance there. The yellow will be equal to area of ABYX. And to find the area of this, it will be length into breadth will be equal to area. Here, this is the length. Now, how much would the length be? If you notice, the length will be 10 minus 2. Here is 10. Let me mark it in something else. This is 10 and this is 2. So the length here will be 10 minus 2, and that is 8. And for the breadth, this is the breadth here. You could take that as breadth, as this is length also. So here the breadth, you know, is 4.6. This entire length, here this segment is 4.6. This segment here is 4.6. So the breadth is 4.6. So area of this will be length, which is 8 into 4.6. So that will give you the distance. That is 36.8. So let's get on now. We said the distance here in this case equal to area, which is length into breadth, which is 8 into 4.6, 36.8 meter. Next, find the area in the last 2 seconds. So when the last 2 seconds, this is here the 10th second, and here it is at the 12th second. So this line gives us the motion in the last 2 seconds. So the area will give us the distance covered. So this is the area on the last 2 seconds. So if you see this, we'll find the area, which is again half base into height. This would be the base. So the base in this case would be 12 minus 10. Now why is it 12 minus 10? So here is 12. Put another color here. This is 12 minus 10. This is your base. 12 minus 10. So that is 2. Now for the height, this would be the height. This would be the height. And the height here, h, is 4.6. So here the height is 4.6. So we'll find the area. So let's get on. So area will be equal to distance. And to find the area, we do half base into height. So area, which is distance now, is half. We saw the base was 2 and the height was 4.6. So that is 4.6 meters. This is the area covered in the last 2 seconds. So let's summarize. In the first 2 seconds, the area covered was here. It was 4.6 meters. So this blue gave us the area in the first 2 seconds, which we saw equal to 4.6 meter. Now between the second and 10 second, the area, this gave us a distance. The blue portion gave us a distance, which worked out to be 36.8 meters. So this is 36.8 meter was the distance covered between the second and the third, between the second and the 10. And for the last part here, for the last 2 seconds, this area, the green area gave us the distance covered, and which was now 4.6 meters. This was 4.6 meters. So in the first case it was a triangle, in the second case it was a rectangle, and in the third case it was a triangle.